encrust the roast with my rub that I've made. So let me set the time.
It's good.
Hi friends, it's Wendy Lynn. Welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I am going to be making a pork tenderloin roast, and I'm going to be cooking it via the sous vide water bath method. And this roast, when it's done, it is going to be amazing. You know, a lot of times when you cook pork, it can tend to dry out, but not when you sous vide it. This is going to be a delicious pork tenderloin roast, buttery tender inside. It's going to have an amazing crust on the outside, and I can't wait to show you how to do this. So the first thing that we do is we get our meat. There's my pork tenderloin roast. This roast is it's just under 3 pounds, and my grocery store just happened to have a sale on these. I paid $1.99 a pound, and this whole roast cost me $5.50, and it'll be enough to feed my entire family an amazing meal. So I did rinse off the roast, then I patted it dry with paper towels. And these roasts, they actually come in 2 small roasts in one package. And what I typically do is I tie them together with some twine, but somehow my twine has mysteriously disappeared. So I'm going to just go without that, and it's going to be completely fine. Because once I season this roast with my rub, I'm going to vacuum seal it with my food saver, so it'll keep the roast nice and tight with all those seasonings intact. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you my rub recipe that I make for this roast. It makes it amazing. It's a savory, sweet rub that just really pairs nicely with pork. So let me show you how I do that. I've got 6 ingredients that I use for my rub. And, you know, the measurements aren't exact. It just depends on the type of roast that you have. But generally, this is about a sufficient amount that I use to encrust the entire roast. So I've got 1 heaping tablespoon of kosher salt. I've got 2 heaping tablespoons of coarse black pepper. I've got 2 teaspoons of garlic powder. I've got 1 teaspoon of paprika. Got another 1 teaspoon of ground mustard. And then I've got about a teaspoon of brown sugar. So I'm just going to mix all of those together in a bowl, and I'm going to whisk that up for my rub. Just going to get all of these ingredients in the bowl and give it a good whisk. This is going to be awesome. So I'm just finishing getting these seasonings whisked for my rub, and I'm going to go ahead and encrust the roast with my rub that I've made. All right, so I'm just going to pour this seasoning. I'm going to rub it all in the roast. I want to get it in all aspects of the roast. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to flip it over and get the other side. And you can see how they're 2 pieces of meat, but we're going to make sure those are kind of pressed together. And once it's cooked, it's going to make an amazing, yummy roast. Get all that seasonings on there real good. This is going to be amazing. I've got my roast perfectly seasoned, and I put it in my prepared food saver bag, and I'm going to go ahead and seal it with my food saver so that we have an airtight bag for our sous vide cooking. So if you have any air in it, then it won't submerge under the water. You want to make sure that the meat is completely submerged in the water. Now, if you don't have a food saver, it's okay. You can still use like a large Ziploc bag. You just need to make sure you get all of the air out of the bag so that it does submerge the meat under the water. I've got my roast sealed in the vacuum sealed bag and I'm ready to drop it in my water bath. This is what it looks like. So see, even though I don't have the twine holding it together, when you put it in the vacuum sealed bag, it pretty much, serves as the same purpose. So I've got my water bath full. I used hot tap water to get a start on the temperature. And then I'm going to set my sous vide cooker at 135 degrees. So we like our pork tenderloin roast kind of in between medium rare and medium. And for that, we're going to use 135. If you want a medium rare roast, you'll use 130. If you want medium, it'll be 140. If you want medium well, that's going to be 150. And if you like your roast well done, you're going to want to use the temperature of 160. So I'm going to go ahead and just drop this in the water bath. And that's sunk down there nicely. And now I'm going to go ahead and set my temperature on my sous vide cooker. So I'm going to set it to 135. And I'm going to let my roast cook in the water bath for 4 hours. So let me set the time. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and start that up. So my delete. I got a naughty. My sous vide has ended. It's been the 4-hour cook for my pork tenderloin roast, and here's what it looks like coming right out of the sous vide water bath. And now what I'm going to do is sear it. I'm going to finish it off in a cast iron skillet, and I've got some avocado oil in there. It's got a high heating point, and so we're going to just sear this to get a nice crust on there. There's a lot of juice in here, so I want to save that because we've got some mashed potatoes we're going to be eating with this. And so I'm going to just drain that juice out here real quick. Some yummy gravy in there. It's not a whole lot. That's going to be good. All right, so now I'm going to take out the roast. Look at that. Look at that beautiful piece of meat right there. Delicious. All right, here we go. Okay, we're just going to sear that for just about 2 to 3 minutes on each side. Okay, it's been searing for a couple minutes. I'm going to flip it over. Zoom on in here, Robert, so we can take a look at this. Oh my goodness, look at that. Delicious. Okay, we're going to just sear a couple more minutes on this other side. We want to be careful not to sear it too long because it's already cooked. We're just trying to get a nice crust on there. So we've been searing for a couple minutes on the other side, and I'm going to turn the heat off, and we're going to take this roast off of the skillet. And boy, would you look at that. So there are 2 pieces of meat, kind of like I described earlier. But we'll just slice those up. That's going to be delicious. We've got our roast out, and I've started cutting into it, and it's looking pretty darn good. I'm going to have my son Caden and his girlfriend Kinsey are here, and they're going to have a little taste of this to see what they think. All right, Kinsey, come on over here. Try a bite of that. What do you think? Mm-hmm. It's good? Very good. All right, honey. Well, what do you think?
That's good.
He's a little camera shy, so you know. All right, so there you have it. Pork tenderloin cooked through the sous vide method, finished off pan-seared in the cast iron skillet. We're going to dress our plates with some of the roast, mashed potatoes, roasted asparagus, which has like a yummy truffle oil and some bread.
Cut.
Thanks again for watching Wendy Lynn's Kitchen. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I would so much appreciate it if you shared and liked and subscribed to my channel. And I hope that you enjoy a roast at some point with your family on Friday evening, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.
Peace out.
Yeah, that is tender. It's good.